Hello everyone and welcome back to the only series out there that combines the lore of Magic the Gathering with the physical cards you can win. I'm Simon and this is Friday Night Lore. For this week's FNL, let's investigate one of the greatest threats to the multiverse, the colossal colorless monstrosities known as the Eldrazi. The Eldrazi are the current antagonists in the MTG storyline, with them, consuming Zendikar and all. But what do we actually know about them? We know the greatest of the Eldrazi are referred to as Titans, and to our knowledge, there are 3 of them. Each have their own unique abilities to consume mana, and as a result, use a different type of pressure to fight off threats. Kozilek, the Great Distortion, warps reality around its massive form, causing pain and hallucinations to all who encounter it. Ulamog, the Ceaseless Hunger, consumes mana in a relatively traditional sense, eating at the very world, leaving nothing but chalky desolation in its path. And Emrakul, the Aeon's Torn, uses corruption to taint the purpose of all things that get too close to its floating mass. Currently on Zendikar, Kozilek and Ulamog are feasting away. The last of the 3, Emrakul, was noted as the only one to leave Zendikar when they were originally freed. The reason for its departure and its destination are unknown. Kozilek and Ulamog don't fight alone, however. Where they go, they bring with them a legion of their spawn. These lesser Eldrazi are physical representations of their masters. Not really having wills of their own, they act simply on the whims of their larger forms. Think of them like tentacles. They're all tethered to the Titan's base, but stretch out far, grasping at as much food as they can over a vast area. Other than their immense size and power, what do we know about the anatomy of the Eldrazi? Well, the Eldrazi are creatures born to the blind eternities, the space between planes that make up a majority of the multiverse. It's like space in our world, a vast horizon of nothingness that spans most of the universe. We don't know how they're formed, but being from the blind eternities explains why all Eldrazi are initially colorless. So, they feed on mana, are born from the blind eternities, create legions of spawn, and are themselves extremely powerful. How can anyone, even planeswalkers, stand up against these threats? Well, Ugin, the spirit dragon, seems to think no one can, or at least for long. This dragon planeswalker has lived a very long time, amassing as much knowledge as he could on the Eldrazi over the years, and what he found is truly disturbing. Seeing that the Eldrazi are from the Blind Eternity, they're essentially immortal, unable to be killed, not by traditional means anyway. The Titans we see on Zendikar aren't the true Eldrazi, they're merely physical avatars meant to represent and feed something much greater. Ugin put it in an analogy when explaining this concept to Jace Belleron. The Eldrazi are like a man who stumbles upon a small pond of fish. The man hungers and needs to feed, so he decides to dip his hand into the water and grab a fish. The fish see this giant thing they can't understand coming to take them, and think this is the only threat they face. They try to run, or even to fight off the hand, but eventually, they'll get caught. The hand is just a means by which the Eldrazi, the true Eldrazi still left in the Blind Eternities, use to feed. If the heroes of Zendikar decide to kill the Eldrazi Titans, all they do is cut off the hand of the Eldrazi, leaving the true form alive to terrorize the multiverse. They cannot kill the Eldrazi. This is where Ugin's original plan comes into play. Many years ago, when he, Soren Markov, and Nahiri the Lithomancer decided to face the Eldrazi, they agreed that killing them wouldn't be an option. The best way to deal with this threat was to trap the Eldrazi on Zendikar, but how does this work better than simply killing them? Well, if we return to our fishing man analogy, if you cut off the hand, the man lives, but if you stab the hand and pin it to the pond floor, the man won't be able to pull it out and would be trapped. This is what Ugin and the others did all those years ago. They lured the man to the Zendikar pond, and using the Hedrons and Leylines, stabbed the avatars and pinned them to the plane, preventing the true Eldrazi from feeding on other worlds. It was an ingenious plan to be sure, but one that was ultimately foiled by other malicious forces of the multiverse. Now with the Titans again free, the greater form of Emrakul has fled, while Kozilek and Ulamog continue to sate their appetites on Zendikar. A new batch of heroes are attempting to face this threat. Taking advice from Ugin, they tried to bind Ulamog using the plane's ley lines, stabbing the hand once again, but with the rise of Kozilek, the knife has been removed and now Ulamog roams free. 2 Eldrazi Titans loose, with no more ways to pin them. How will our heroes end this on Zendikar once and for all? The Planeswalkers on Zendikar have come up with a plausible plan, but I think I'll save that for another video. For now though, I want to know what you guys think the greater Eldrazi, those that still float in the blind eternities, may look like. If Ulamog and Kozilek are their avatars, how big and gruesome could their actual forms be? Let me know in the comments below. And that's gonna do it for this video, guys. As with every FNL, it's time to announce the giveaway card of the week. With this story centering around Eldrazi, I think it's fitting to give out a copy of our newest Titan, Kozilek the Great Distortion. To enter for your chance to win this card, all you have to do is be a subscriber and leave a comment on this video. At the end of the week, I'll choose a random comment and present the winner in next week's FNL. Speaking of which, let's see who won last week's giveaway. The previous FNL was about the merfolk, Jorian, a famous ruin diver who aided an injured Kiora. Since a majority of you wanted the Jorian card rather than the foil waste, I decided to give out a copy of that card to this week's winner. That being the Lego Man. Congrats on winning FNL. Check your YouTube inbox for my message. In any case guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, consider giving it a like and subbing to the channel. It goes a long way in supporting future content. You can also support this channel by becoming a patron and adding me on other social media outlets. Find those in the description below. FNL and all my giveaways are brought to you by abugames.com. abugames.com is a great place where you can find all things MTG, and I suggest you guys checking them out. As always, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.